The second question is, this is for Keith Johnson. What's the best way to remove sand and silt from a pool?
Well, obviously, that's going to depend on the amount of sand and silt that you find in a pool. I had the distinct pleasure of having the eye of Charlie and Francis pass over my home about 4 weeks apart, and then about 3 weeks after that, we had Gene, and that eye passed over my business. I can tell you that we had pools that, were anywhere from just a half inch of sand or debris in the pool to pools that were literally filled with all the cattails and reeds and sand from the lake that had washed over the seawall on the lake into the pool. As far as removal, again, it's just going to depend on the severity of the problem. We found on a lot of our pools, they would have 3, 4, 6 inches, whatever. We would literally just set up a portable pump. We would completely forget the circulation system that exists on the pool, and we would set up a portable pump on the deck and literally vacuum the pool to waste using that pump with no filter. That was the fastest, quickest way to deal with that issue. Obviously, if you get larger amounts of sand and you're not looking to drain the pool, then some of our members in the Florida area were using mud hogs and things of that nature that could handle the solids. And then, of course, if you have the situation where the pool's completely full, you literally have to go in and shovel it out. It's just amazing, because one of the biggest things that happened in Florida was, before the hurricanes would come, the first thing all the news channels would tell all the homeowners to do is throw all their lawn furniture and, barbecue grills and anything they could into the pool to keep it from blowing away. So we had to contend with a backyard full of furniture in the pool, along with 1 inch to 2 feet of sand. It was interesting. We would pump the pool out. 3 weeks later, another hurricane would come through and blow the lake back into the pool. We'd get it cleaned out, and then 3 weeks later, another one would come through. So it's really, you have to depend on the best situation. Portable pumps work well. Mud hogs work well. And if it's completely full, I suppose you get an excavator.
Okay.
What were you guys charging if you had 2 feet of sand in a 500 square foot pool? What were you guys typically charging? All while knowing that the debris got to go from the pool to the back and out to the street and beyond.
Well, you kind of open up a whole separate dynamic there. Do you want me to go on? You want to answer the questions first? Or?
Well, we generally, as a policy, we don't like to talk about what to charge, pricing, or anything like that. That's something you have to come up on your own.
Well, but not speaking in terms of dollars or anything. Typically, we did things on an hourly rate, but there's a whole other dynamic that you have to take into consideration. And that is, in the state of Florida, we found that by not having contracts with our customers and having things spelled out in writing, a lot of our members got into a lot of trouble because, typically in Florida, your normal pool will go for X amount a month, and you get into a situation where now you have anywhere from 8 to 25 hours worth of work to do on the pool to get it cleaned up, and you're obviously wanting to charge something extra for that. Unfortunately, the state of Florida Attorney General wanted to view that in a lot of cases as price gouging because of the hurricane. They didn't take into consideration that you were going to be there the extra hours. And not saying there wasn't some price gouging going on, but a lot of legitimate companies were just trying to cover their expenses of getting their customer back up and running so that they could continue to charge those monthly fees, and they were getting hit by the Attorney General and by the different DAs and things like that and being accused of price gouging. The single biggest thing I can tell you out of dealing with a hurricane is get it in your contract that in the event of a hurricane or storm or act of God or other event that's going to require additional time, you're going to charge X amount of dollars per hour, per day, however you want to do it. Get it in your contract, get it in writing, because the Attorney General is the one that you may have to deal with if you don't. State's attorney, I should say.
Hold on 1 second. Here you go.
Someone had recommended for a cesspool company to come in and pump out a pool. What do you guys think of that?
Personally, I have a water treatment background as well. I don't think that I would want a sewage truck working on my pool. I don't think that presents a good image to the customer. Not saying that it wouldn't work well, because the vac trucks can handle those kinds of situations, but you know, the potential contamination that you would leave behind and the image that you get, you know, of that situation, I wouldn't think works well. I saw a sign, one of my buddies posted it on my Facebook, and it said, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but it said, water being delivered for pool fills and septic tanks pumped. And then at the bottom of the sign, it said, not same truck.